Actually, in object, we will have in the object level in the details page. But for this documents, we will have it in the life cycle. For each role, we will have the stack setup. So to enable a DAC, a dynamic access control for this role, specific for this role, we have to enable, we have to check this checkbox. Only after checking this checkbox, these two tabs will be enabled, and we can add sharing rule. I think we can add up to 8 sharing rule here.
Okay.
So here it is based on we've added one rule based on a Revive team and document type group. So if a user role setup is created with this role, global template commercial reviewer, Revive with Revive team and Revive type group, then if the record is created particular to that values, then this role, whoever has this role will be automatically added to the sharing settings of that record. For example, I'll go to user role setup. So it was for GRP material. The role was commission. So, for example, if a document has this role, means this, if a document is with this type GRP material, and if the review team is selected as other therapeutic area, then this user, other TA test user, will be automatically added to the document sharing settings. And we can, if we want to route the document, we can route the document to this user. If this user role setup is not configured, then this user will not have access to the document. It will be like we have to manually add the user, but now it will get automatically added. So that is the purpose of this DAC and user role setup. Okay, I'll move to okay, I'll briefly tell about this field layout. So here, this field layout, here we can configure how the field is aligned in the UI. So for object, we have layouts. No, in the object itself, we have layout, and we can configure the display, how it displays to the user. So the same way for document, this is the place where we can configure.
Okay.
You can reorder or rearrange the fields, and so the same way it will be displayed in the UI for the document. So this is on field layouts, and I'll move on to this workflows. So I'll take this workflow. So this is the while creating a workflow, we'll be creating here. Click on create. We have two types: object workflow and document workflow. So for whatever we are creating, we can select accordingly, and when we create the workflow, we have to give these details, document lifecycle. Always the workflow will be associated to the lifecycle. So for example, I'm taking this send for global template approval workflow. This is for GRP documents. So the life cycle for GRP is global material review and approval. And these start states are, so in these states only, this workflow will be available for the user to start.
Okay.
Means if we go to this draft, so here if we see in the user action, we will have this send for global template approval workflow configured in the user action. So it is wise, means here only when we configure here, when we add the workflow here, then only it will be, means the start state is updated automatically. So when we add the workflow here in the user actions, it will be added to the start states.
Okay.
So we have 3 start states. In these 3 start states only we can start the life cycle. We can start the workflow. Okay, so this workflow we have start step and end step for all the workflows, and in between we will have steps according to our requirement. So here, if we see we have start step, then action, the document will change to in review when we start the workflow. Then the task will go to commercial approver, and then there is a decision step, and we have a task to upload a new version. Then at last we have a action step and task step, then end workflow. I'll just briefly explain each steps. So in the start step, we have these start options. We can configure this instruction. We can this wording is given by business. So usually we may get requirement to update this task, the start step instruction as well. So this instruction.
Like we'll get. Do we get any condition like creating a workflow or something like that, or adding a new approval, something like this?
Usually we will not have a task to create a whole new workflow. We will have a requirement to update the existing workflow, like a role. If they here, for example, here it was this workflow task was assigned to regulatory role only before, but recently we got a requirement to change this to commercial reviewers. So we have updated this role allowed to participate to commercial reviewer, and participant label we have changed, and in the task also we have changed so that it goes to commercial reviewer, and we may get requirement to change this instruction. They will give the content what to update here. So in the start step, we have options for this instruction. We have option to prompt for field. So here it is prompting for this portal field, and it is required. If we check this checkbox, it is required. If we uncheck it, it will be optional one. And so see here, portal widget is optional, but portal is mandatory. Participants. Here we can add participants. Here we have only one participant, that is commercial reviewer. So this workflow task will go to commercial reviewers, and this due date is the due date. Whatever we fill, manually fill, that is the due date. So this date control is also given. So maybe I will open the document and start the workflow and show. So here in the draft state, we have the send for global template approval. So as we see here, I've already seen, no? So it start states are draft state. And also we have a condition in the user action. So here if we see send for global template approval, it is available in the draft state. And it should be available only for this document type, GRP material, global template material. Subtype should be global template material. So if we see here, it is type and subtype is matching. And also we have one more condition, copy or translation of approved material should be no. Only then this workflow should be available. Otherwise, if this is selected as yes, then it will not be available. So same thing, we can check here, send for, where is that field? This copy or translation of approved material is no. So if this is selected as yes, then it will not be available. I'll just change and show. Yes. So see, this workflow is not available. We cannot start the workflow. So we have to check all these conditions and then only we can start the workflow. I'll just change the field to no, and I'll start this workflow. So here, if we see start workflow. So whatever we are seeing in this start options, everything is available here when we start the workflow. So this is the instruction. So whatever we have given here, the instruction control, so it is appearing here. The order matters. So first, we have to, if we need to have instruction, then we have to give instruction, or next prompt for field or participant. If we want to interchange, then we can interchange. So it will be in the same order. So first control is instruction. So instruction is appearing here. Then the second and third controls are prompt for fields. So one is portal and the other is the portal widget. So here portal, if we see it is mandatory, and portal widget, if we see it is optional. As per the configuration, it is working perfectly. So let me select anything. Then participant control, fourth is the participant control, and that is commercial reviewer. Label is commercial reviewer. So we have seen commercial reviewer, and it will be assigned to commercial distribution. I'll just change the user. So here, if we see Revi team, So I told on DAC, no. So that DAC, uh, the Revive team is
Okay.
other therapeutic area, and this is type is GRP material. So now other TA test user should be available for this role. So I'll send the task. I'll start the task and I'll show you. So before when I selected oncology test user was there, but now since I changed the review team to other therapeutic area, it is available to other test user. When it was oncology, when the review team of oncology, the user was oncology test user. So this is based on the user role setup which we have configured. Okay. So that is one thing. This is commercial reviewer, and last control is date control, and date is also appearing here. So you can give any date. So this is the start step configuration. Then I'll go to next step. Next is the action step. So after starting the workflow, we need the document state to be changed to in review. Okay, so that is the step here. I'll just start this workflow, and when now the state is draft. When I start the workflow, the document will move to in review. I'm getting some error. So the portal and portal widget is not matching. The portal should have that portal widget. So we have some duplicate entries here.
Perfect.
We have duplicate entries here. I'm not sure which is the correct one. Okay, I'll
Okay.
go to other steps. Maybe I'll check this and tell you in the tomorrow's call. One minute, Tanmita.
Yeah, sure.
So next is in review. So when we start the workflow, the state will change to in review. Then the task will go to commercial. This is the task step. So here we can configure the task label, provide commercial approval, and the task should be assigned to commercial reviewers. And here in the task also we will have an instruction. So that the task instruction can be updated here, configured here, and due date we can configure. We can configure this due date as well. Due date plus 7 days or 14 days, something like that. So the default date will be can also be set up with this configuration.
Okay.
And this prompt for verdict is so we will have how many our verdicts we can configure. One is approved. Here it is configured as approved, and another one is approved with comments.
Okay.
Sorry, I think 3. Approved with comments, and not approved. So these 3 verdicts are will be shown, and the commercial reviewer can select any one, approved or approved with comments. If they select approved, then they have to sign it, e-sign it. So they have to give username and password. So that we have added this e-signature configuration, and this when it is approved with comments, then it should the task, whoever completes the task, they have to provide the comments as well. For what reason they are not there with comments means they are approving with comments, so they have to provide the comments, and not approved, it is clear. And they can configure notification template as well. So this notification template can be taken from here. So first we have to configure the notification templates here, then it will appear there as a pick list to select these templates.
Okay.
So here if we see in the notification template, we can configure subject. So we can send a mail to the task, whoever receives the task, so we can send the mail to them. With the subject, we can configure the subject notification text and also the email body, how it should be sent. So that configuration is done here. So this notification text is the text which we receive here in the bell panel. And this email body is mail body. So in the email, we will get this content, and in the system notification, we will get this content. This subject is the mail subject. So this is on notification template. And here we did not configure anything. So we will get this instruction notified. So for this task, actually, we will get a mail. But if we need some template to customize it, we can customize with this notification template. And also task reminder if they need before 7 days or before 15 days. So we can set up the reminders as well here. So this is on task. Then next is the decision step. So if the task, if the commercial reviewer select the verdict as approved, then the document will change its state to approved to localize. If the if they select as approved with comments and if they select as approved with comments, then it is reviewed with comments. If it is not approved, then it is not approved state. So this is this is the action step, and we are configuring the rules here according to the verdict selected. So next step is the approval outcome. So if it is reviewed with comments, in the previous step we saw that for reviewed with, so we have these two steps, the two states, approved to localize, reviewed with comments, and not approved is not approved. So for these two states, when it is in these two states, then if equals, if it is reviewed with comments, then it will prompt, this task will be prompted to upload new version if it is reviewed with comments. If it is approved and not approved, then we will have a assess outcome task where it will go to workflow owner. Workflow owner is the one who starts the workflow. So task will go to the owner and they have to complete the task. And we have the sense step. So this is on this workflow. So according to business requirement, these steps may change. So it may be more complicated than these steps. So we do have workflows with more complicated steps. So maybe when you get the access, you can check all the workflow related to GRP. So we have so many workflows related to GRP, MAC, DSR. So if we select here material, so we see all these life cycle is same. This is all for GRP materials. So we have these so many workflows configured for GRP, and if we see DSR, digital site. So for digital site registry, we have these many workflows.
Okay.
So same thing with other types like Mac. I think Mac is material web. I think Mac has legacy workflow. So here, this is one workflow. Means for both object and documents, we have all the workflows listed here. Earlier, one minute, I'll open that work. Earlier, the workflow tab was there in the life cycle itself. For example, for this Mac review, here we have this tab legacy workflow. So it was workflow was there in the life cycle itself, but now it changed to separate configuration section. We have a separate section for workflow, but earlier it was in the same life cycle tab. So now the name got changed to legacy workflow. So for Mac alone, all the workflows are listed in lifecycle itself. So if you want to update any Mac workflows, you have to come here. So we have these many workflows for Mac. So just you can, when you get the access, you can just look into this. So this is on workflows. And I've taken this RS and DS document. Open that. So there we have all the description of all the types, Mac, DSR.
Okay.
System design, requirement specification. I'll share both design, DS and RS. So here, this is the RS document. So here we have about all about the system, Promomats, and what we do here. What are the changes or updates performed in Promomats? So everything is there in this document. I'll share this.
Okay.
So here, if we see, we have the brief intro about all the types. This Mac, GRP, eApprove, SMRP, DSR, PSD, and we have a diagram. This is the workflow diagram for Mac process. So this is Mac. So Mac is the complicated one. We have so many workflows for that. And if we see here, so this is for all these, we have a workflow. So sponsor is the role. So sponsor will be creating a placeholder first, and they will send this to agency to upload the document. So for this, we have one workflow, send for upload workflow. So again, after sending for upload, so the agency will upload, and next is the QC step. So for all these, we have separate workflows for all these process. So you can just go through this diagram. It will be helpful.
Okay.
This Mac, ECTD, reference brand documents, GRP documents. For all the types, we have the diagrams, and also these are the document types. So document types available in the system. And the document states. So all the states. So for this life cycle, we have all these states. you can check this in the system as well in the life cycle. So everything is documented in this document.
Okay, sure. I'll check the document.
Life cycle, workflows, roles. And for each types, the updates, whatever we have made, that is listed. Okay, I'll share the SRS and DS document. Then what else? Okay, so we have story and task in Jira. So if it is a story, then it is like we have to make the update and we will have a testing team to test it. But if it is a task, I'm just telling the difference between story and task. So if it is a task, then we will have, that is like an analysis. So we will not have testing for that. We will just analyze and tell what to do for that particular requirement. We will not change anything in the system. If needed for our analysis purpose, we can change, update something and check what is happening for that update and analyze, and we can document that. And again, we have to revert all the changes. So that is task. But story we can update.
No, I didn't get. So task, like you have to analyze and you'll check that in lower environment, right?
Yeah. In lower environment, we can make changes and we have to revert it. We should not have the changes for the task.
Okay. We'll just analyze and we'll try to work on the same in SPX and then we'll again revert.
Right.
Okay.
So that is the difference between story and task.
Okay.
And maybe I'll take any one requirement and tell you how to start with it. So here, this is a story. Maybe looking at commercial. So same thing, I think I told this requirement. Here, the description will be like this. As a global, this will be from business.
Okay.
As a global document user, I would like to transition the global template workflow from regulatory approval to commercial approval. So they'll give only this sentence. So we have to analyze and see where we have to make the changes and how to proceed with this. So from the sentence, we can understand that this is for GRP and the workflow is global template. So I think I already showed that workflow. The workflow is sent for global template approval. So what we have to change, it was regulatory approval. It is regulatory approval and we have to change it to commercial approval. So this change is already done here. So I already have changed that to commercial approval. So if we see here, the participant label I've changed to commercial reviewer. And this role also changed to global template commercial reviewer. So this change this is a pick list. So this change we have to do it in life cycle. In document life cycle, we have to go to global material review and approval states.
Okay.
Global. GRP. Oh, sorry, roles. Searching in states. So here in the role, before it was global template regulatory reviewer. Now we have to change this to global template commercial reviewer. This label we have to change, and this application role also, it was regulatory earlier. We have to change this to commercial. So this change we have to do it in life cycle. Then automatically your the role will get updated to global template commercial reviewer. If not, we can update it manually also. And so this change we have to do in the start step, and also in this task instruction. Here it was regulatory approval earlier. This should be changed to commercial approval, and this task label it should be provide commercial approval. So everywhere, if regulatory is there, we have to replace it with commercial. And this capacity values also we have to change to commercial. So this is the update we have to make, and we have to test this. So for testing this, we can create a document and start this workflow and see if the task goes to commercial approval.
So like we will add ourselves in the group and like
no, you have to use test users. So we have test profiles. I think I have a matrix sheet for that. I'll send that matrix sheet. So we have to use only those specific test users. So I showed you other TA test user. So that is the test profile to be used. So for this global GRP, we have to use global document owner user, and for the task we have to use a few other users. I'll send you that document as well. So we have to delegate user and approve from their side.
I'm
not sure why this is not working. This is working, I'm not sure. Okay, I'll tell this tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Tanmati, any questions you have?
No, like I think I will working only. I'll get doubts. Okay, let you know.
So one last thing, one last thing on the package. So here in SBX we will do all the changes manually, but to deploy it in QA and production environment, we may use this package, or we can do it manually also, how we did in SBX. So this outbound package is for this we will create it in SPX, and this in the QA environment we will do it with inbound package. We'll go to inbound package, import the package. So we will create the package and add components. So if we have, we will add all the components where we have configured, where we have made changes. If we have made changes to that workflow, global template approval workflow, then we will add that component here, and here we can export. If we export, it will be exported as VPK package to our local mission. And that package, we have to import it using this inbound package. We will be logging to QA environment, and we have to import, review, and deploy. So this actually we will just create package here in the outbound package, but deploying to QA and the production will be done by Arun. He is the system owner. So he or Kirti is from on-site. From on-site, she's like system owner there. So she Arun or Kirti will deploy in QA and production environment. And also one more thing, we have to note all the updates what we are doing in a document and document it step by step. So that it will be useful for Arun or Kirti to deploy in QA and production. So we will be sending that document to them for the deployment.
Okay.
So that's all I have, and I think that workflow, I'll show this part alone. I'll show you tomorrow, or if possible after some time I will connect and tell you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, then. Other two documents, RS and DS, I'll send you now. So the user ID is